Hello everyone. Today my groupmate and I would like to explain about MIA bylaw. What is MIA bylaw? MIA bylaw means it is on professional ethics, conduct and practice on the Malaysian Institute of Accounts. However, MIA bylaw, they'll have two parts. But right now, I would like to explain about the first part. The first part of MIA bylaw on professional ethics, conduct and practice, it relates to the laws on professional ethics, which is substantially based on the Code of Ethics for Professional Accounts issued by the International Federation of Accounts, which is IFSC, and establish the ethical requirements and standards applicable to all members of the Institute as professional accountants.
Section 110 Bylaws on Professional Ethics is about integrity. It says, all professional accountants must be straightforward and honest in the profession and the business. That includes integrity that implies fair dealing and truthfulness. The second one is no professional accountant make false report and misleading report on purposely. The next one is objectivity on section 120. It says all professional accountants not to compromise their professional judgment because of biased decisions. The next one is not easily get influenced by others or clients. The last one is not having any personal interest. The second point is all members of professional accountants shall protect and keep their objectivity and their integrity from client offer high fee just to follow the client's instruction during auditing, accepting gift or corruption, and having a personal interest like having a spouse in the company. The next one is professional competence and due care or due care on section 130. It says all members of professional accountants must improve their professional services, up-to-date technical knowledge, and strengthen their professional competence. The second point is act diligently in accordance with applicable technical and professional standards when performing auditing. The last point is due care or due care means professional accountants should conduct with courtesy and responsible towards person who engage them or to the public, which means the consideration of completeness of working papers, sufficient amount of evidence, and appropriateness of audit report.
Section 140 Confidentiality. An auditor should not disclose any information to third party without proper and specific authority. An auditor needs to continue keep the confidentiality information even after the end relationship between an auditor and client or lawyer. Section 150 Professional Behavior. An auditor needs to comply with relevant law and regulation. An auditor needs to inform third party all the circumstances. An auditor needs to avoid action that may discredit profession. An auditor is not allowed to make advertisement. As the conclusion, in order an auditor to practice all of the ethics, the auditor needs to attain a training. Section 100.8 Threats and Safeguards that affect the judgment. Threat consists of A. Self-interest. The auditor have direct financial interest and other interests to audit the client. This is linked to Section 9 Clause 1 Clause B and Section 9 Clause 1 Clause C. B. Self-review. This is the situation where the auditor involved in the financial statement then review his own report. This is Section 9, Clause 1, Clause C. C. Familiarity. An auditor have long association with the audit client, such as provide service long time, and the client is the auditor's spouse. D. Intimidation. The thing that can influence the auditor, such as audit fee and spouse. E. Advocacy. Auditor is dealing with being promoter or have share that can affect the independence. Section 109. Safeguards. Safeguards are actions that may eliminate threats or reduce them. Safeguards created by profession, legislation, and regulation such as MIA that under Section 290 Independence and Company Act 1965 that under Section 9.
Next, I would like to explain about the standards on auditing. Standards on auditing can determine the performance of the auditor's work. Without these standards, it is impossible to determine the due care of the auditors. MIA has determined that approved auditing standards for members in the public practice comprise two, which is the first one is International Standards on Auditing ISA approved by the MIA, and the next one is Malaysian Approved Standards on Auditing, which is MASA issued by the MIA. Right now, I would like to explain about the International Standard on Auditing. The International Standard on Auditing, ISA, refer to professional standard dealing with the responsibility of the independent auditor while conducting the financial audit of financial information. These standards are issued by the International Federation of Accountants, IFAC, and through the International Auditing and Assurance Standards Board, IASB. It includes requirements and objectives along with application and other explanatory material. After that, the Malaysian Approved Standards on Auditing. Approved auditing standards in Malaysia are issued by the Malaysian Institute of Certified Public Accountants, MICPA, and the Malaysian Institute of Accountants, MIA. The Malaysian auditing guidelines are also developed in areas of relevance to Malaysia which are not covered by the existing ISA or IAPS, or where particular features of the Malaysian environment warrants guidelines to be prepared specifically to address those features. It is to be applied in audits of financial statements, review, engagements, and related service that are performed by the members of MICPA and MIA. Why these two standards are need to be followed, you ask? ISA are issued by the International Auditing Practices Committees, IACP, of the International Federation of Accountants, IFAC, whose broad objective is develop an enhancement of a coordinated worldwide accountancy profession with harmonized standards, while the Malaysian Approved Standards Auditing, MASA, are issued to argue ISA. The MASA covers topics that are not dealt with in the ISA or topics where particular features of the Malaysian environment warrant a domestic standard written specifically to address those features. And that's all from us about the MIA bylaw, and thank you very much.